Listen, I wanted to come and talk to you all about you got to move forward, right? You really got to move forward. Let me turn off my notification for my camera. Hold on. Listen, I want to finish sharing this message with you. And I know this is going to be hard for some of you because, see, sometimes people want to sit and play victim, right? And what I mean play victim, especially when you're leaving or exiting a relationship or leaving a job. This could be for anything, but mostly it's relationships. I know people may have hurt you, but you also have to think about you may have hurt someone. But what we have to do in this season is we have to move forward. This is how you know that a person is not doing the work on themselves. Whenever a person leaves a relationship, right? Whenever someone leaves a relationship, this is romantic. Whenever that person leaves the relationship and they have not healed, the first thing they're going to do is take all of that trauma into the next relationship. And what I mean by that is you are in a relationship with a totally different person. You don't know of that person's ex whatever. You don't know of them, right? Being the other party. But what you guys have in common is you share a romantic partner, okay? But when a person goes into another relationship and their ex is the villain, their ex is the topic of that relationship, that is a problem. That is a sign that that person has not healed. That is the sign that that person is probably the villain, okay? Because no healthy person in their right mind will go into a whole new relationship talking about how somebody treated them, how somebody did them, how they didn't do this and that for them. No healthy person would do that. That is a sign that that person is not healthy. They are unhealed. And 9 times out of 10, they are the problem. They are the problem. Because when you go into a new situation, you should have done the work on yourself. You should have ungutted. You should have prayed, fasted. You should have uncluttered what could have hindered you for going into a relationship that is, better than the one you said was trash. You're trying to have a new beginning. That's why you all need to come to the New Beginning Masterclass. And this masterclass won't be about relationships, but it'll be about how to start afresh, how to start anew. And it's all about mindset. Register for that free masterclass. It's called the New Beginnings Masterclass. If you want a fresh start, register for that class because I'm going to teach you how to have a mindset shift. A mindset shift. You can transform and become whomever you want to be. If only you could just tap into what is between your ears. What is between, these two things inside of here. Hi, India. But what I was saying is a person who leaves one situation and they go into a fairly new situation, and the topic of that situation, that topic of that relationship is the ex, is the person who they just left, that is not healthy. Hey, Greta, I haven't seen you in a while, dear. That is not healthy. You don't want someone else's baggage. That's a red flag. If a person's coming to you and all they talk about is their ex did this, my ex did that, they didn't do this, they were this way, they were that way, they didn't do this for me. You're setting yourself up for failure. And you are broken. You are broken if you so desperate for love and attention from someone who hasn't done the work on themselves. They haven't done the work on themselves. Only thing they do is point blame. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Greta. I went through that season, honey. I went through a season like that. I mean, every quarter somebody was passing, every 3 to 4 months. Close people too. I went through that season. We're all going to go through different seasons. But I pray that you have peace during this time. And I pray that you have, comfort during this time. Oh my goodness. That's a lot. I think I've experienced the same amount or even more a few years ago. Yep, back to back. But yep, that's a season. We're all in different seasons in our lives. But what I was saying is, if that's why people have to do the work on themselves. Most people are adult toddlers. They are adult babies trying to adult, and they haven't healed their traumas. Adult babies. You got people 40 and 50 years old still emotionally 16, emotionally 10, emotionally 12. Because they haven't done the work on themselves. They don't want to look and deal with themselves. They want to project. I had to go through that too. I had to go through that. With dealing with my mom, dealing with my parents. I had to go through that. God had to show me. But see, I was willing to change. A lot of people are not willing to change because change is hard. Change is hard. And it's difficult. You're welcome, Greta. I'm so glad I was able to help. Listen, I was only being obedient. I don't want to be on here. I'm going to be honest. Greta, if it was up to me, I just want to be living my life, take care of my children, operate my business, and vacation if it was my choice. But I got to be obedient. This is not something I want to do. I don't want to get on here. I'm going to be honest. I didn't want to start this channel. Because I know, I know I got people that watch me. I got monitoring spirits that watch me on this channel. And that's the only way to have access to me is by this channel. They think I don't know, but spiritually I know. This is the only access they have to me is this channel. So they sit and they watch what I'm saying, see who I'm talking about. If I'm talking about them, no, baby, God is doing a new thing, has done a new thing in me. This channel is not about them, the monitoring spirits. This channel is not about them. This channel is doing what it's intending to do. Help those who God is sending to this channel. This is not my doing. Yes, Greta, over 20K. So quick. And I'm not even, after I reached about 16, I just stopped watching. I just stopped watching the numbers because I'm like, it's not about me at this point. When it went to 20K in 1 year, less than a year, I already said it's not about me. So I don't even watch it. I come on here, give the message, give the downloads, and I go on about my business. But the New Beginnings Masterclass, I'm going to hold that January 27th. This year, of course, at 10. That class is going to help you get a fresh perspective on life. A fresh perspective on your situation. Because some of us are just stuck. And you get delivered. Because see, people think deliverance is this, somebody putting their hands on you, you falling all out on the floor and foaming at the mouth and doing all this craziness that religion taught some of us. Now, sometimes that stuff is needed because some people are just riddled with all kind of spirits. Now, I'm not talking against it, but that's not deliverance only. Deliverance is you get a new information. Deliverance if you get a new information. Only thing I was looking for when I was stuck in my cycle is new information. That's all I was need. I just wanted information. I wanted somebody to show me a different way. And once I learned a different way, I started doing things different. Because no one can control you unless you give them that power to. No one outside of you can control you and dictate your happiness unless you give them that power. This is why When you develop and know who you are on the inside. This was why the devil attacked the chosen one so much. He want us because, see, when we haven't healed the little child within, when we haven't dealt with that little rejected, abandoned child, because some of us as chosen ones, we dealt with that. I've dealt with it. When we haven't dealt with that little rejected spirit and we don't come into wholeness into who God say we are and stop listening to what people say and who people say we are, we will never have the strength and the boldness to hear somebody call you all types of names and walk away with your self-esteem intact. You will never be able to do that if you don't know who you are. You will never be able to do, like, walk away from somebody cursing you out, calling you all kind of names, calling you the N word, the A word, B, whatever derogatory word. When you know who you are, nothing that a person could say to you will matter. You will walk away from that person in that situation with your self-esteem intact, with knowing, oh, that's them. All that stuff they try to dump on me, that's a reflection of them. You won't know that if you don't know who you are, if you don't heal, if you don't do the work on yourself, if you don't journal, pray, fast, whatever you got to do, call a therapist, get the lip, whatever you got to do. This is why most of us stay in situations, stay in relationships that we know we shouldn't have been in, stay with people we know we don't have any business with, because we so broken in our spirit and so rejected. We just want this person to like us and love us. When you clearly see this person is battling their own demons, this person got their own stuff going on, you can see it as clear as day. This person, the person you're trying to get to love you, they need to be delivered. Yes. Yes, you have to know. That's why you got to know who you are. And you got to know, when you know who you are, the things that you've done in the past and the behaviors and things that you've done that you don't like that you've done, when you know who you are, what you will do is you will own what you have done. You will own what you've done in your past and how you behave, right? And you will realize the reason I was acting that way because I didn't have the information. I didn't have any other information to tell me that that wasn't the right thing to do. You won't be so hard on yourself. You only made the decision based on the information that you had. That's all. Yes, there are consequences when you make decisions. When you make decisions that may have hurt someone or someone have lost trust in you, that's, there are consequences to our decisions. But when you know who you are, you're going to own up to that. You own up to that decision and you don't let that decision break you. You don't let what you've done break you, because I've done a lot of things, right, that I wasn't so proud of, that I didn't make excuses for, but I had to understand my situation and my upbringing and my environment and the choices that I had in front of me. Because a lot of people don't have so many choices. This is why I don't judge folks based on the decision they make if I know what choices they had. Oh, yes, Joan, me too, Joanne. I tell my children all the time, you can do what you want to do. You can live how you want to live. But you best believe there are consequences. Consequences to how you do that. But when you become a person that you own up to everything that you've done, every decision that you've made, the things that you have done, people can't hold things over your head anymore. And not only that, you take back your power. Because see, that's what the enemy likes. The enemy likes secrets. Okay? The enemy likes secrets. And as long as he knows he got your little dirty little secret, or he knows something about you, he feel like he can control you and intimidate you, blackmail you with that stuff. He feel like that. But that's why now, I'm going to tell y'all now, if you don't harm somebody, now you got to be wise in that. If you don't did something to somebody and they're not here anymore, now you got to be wise, okay? You got to be wise. And even those things, and this is the thing. Even the things that people have done in their past years, and they're trying to move on from it, that stuff is being brought to the light. So it's best that you be honest. It's best that you go ahead and repent. But just because you repent, which means you turn away from that behavior, that lifestyle, you got to remember that consequence is still there. I don't care if you did it 20, 30 years ago. You still have a consequence to pay. And once you realize that's part of life and you have to accept that, you can move on. You can know who you are and not let that stuff change you. You can say, you know what? I didn't know any better. I did that. Whatever that is, I did that. I own it, and I got to move on from it. Because sometimes people want you to pay forever for the crimes you've committed. They want you to pay forever. And this is why forgiveness is so important. Forgiveness is important because we've done things to people that we would like for God to forgive us for. So that's why you have to release people of their trespasses. You have to release them of their wrongdoing so you can free yourself. I don't care. Nobody on this, what they say, what the little saying, God green earth is going to make me and hold me in unforgiveness. Have me, in a place where I don't forgive them. Oh, I know the importance of it now. See, when you do the work on yourself, you know the importance of forgiving people. That don't mean you have to reconcile. That means that you're going to release them of their trespasses. But you have to be wise. You don't let them come back in your space now and do it again. Come on now. We have to have some wisdom here. Operate in wisdom. Yes, you can forgive people. I forgive all the time. Because, see, the reason I forgive, I like to sleep good at night. I like my soul to rest. When you don't forgive, your soul doesn't rest. You can go to sleep, but you wake up tired. That's when you know you're in unforgiveness. You can go to sleep, but you wake up tired. Or you need medicine to send you to sleep. You need medicine to help you sleep. And I'm not saying all people, but a lot of folks, if you need medicine to make you sleep, that means you got unresolved issues. Your spirit is not at peace. Yes, Joanne. I'm sorry, Joanne. Yes, and I had to learn that. See, before I was delivered from my spirit of rejection and abandonment, right? Before I was delivered, I always wanted to keep people around. I went out of my way to keep people around, to keep family around, to keep love, your blood around. I used to go out of my way to always try to be there and try not to be so distant. And, you try to fix stuff, and knowing situations are, knowing there is something hindering you from connecting to them. I used to try to, show up and be there for people. And then guess what? The curtains were moved. The veil was moved off my eyes. And the truth was exposed. The truth was exposed. I don't want to be connected to nobody who don't genuinely care for me, who don't genuinely love me, who don't genuinely like me. You got your family members that don't like you. And y'all have to accept the truth. We don't want to accept that truth because In our heads, we think our blood is just supposed to be the end all be all. And I talked about this last year, and I don't want to stay stuck on this, but somebody need to hear this. You got some people that are blood to you will unalive you. They don't care that much about you like you care about them. And you have to trust what you feel. We ignore those gut feelings. I stopped ignoring that. I stopped ignoring them gut feelings. I went through this thing called radical acceptance. I radically accept everything of what I see spiritually. I accept it. I accept that. That's how they are. I accept that. That's the truth. I can't run from the truth because I used to Picasso people. I used to Picasso people. I would paint them over, a whole new picture, knowing they evil and wicked, and I'll just paint them. Oh, they got the good. Pick all the good traits and put it on a new frame. All they little good traits, but I ignore the wickedness. Put all the good traits on the Picasso canvas. Just paint them over. I stopped doing that foolishness. I stopped doing that. I accept people for who they are. I don't make friends if the friendship is not divine. I don't make friendships if it's not divine. If the connection is not God-led, I don't want it. Yes, I don't want it. I don't care if we are blood. If the relationship is not divine, I don't want it. If I can't feel that peace when you're around me, and if I can't feel that peace when I leave, I don't want it. I don't want no forced relationships. I don't want to be pretending. I don't want to be at ease. If I can't be myself, my silly self, and if I can't be weird, because, people think you're weird when they don't understand you. If I can't be who I am, I don't need to be around you. I'm fine. I'm fine. Take care of my kids. Try to pour into them all I can. Try to do what I can for them. Make sure they could survive without me. Live in this earth without me. I don't need that foolishness in my life. My life is peaceful. When I tell you, when you experience peace, it's hard to go back to dysfunction. When you get a peace that comes only from God, you don't care about people. You don't care about being in the cliques. You don't care. I never did too much like cliques like that. I got along with everybody growing up. I knew something was different for me. I got along with everybody. Disabled people. I treated everybody the same. It was so bad one time. I never forget, I was in school. I was working, but when I was in school, I used to love talking to the little, what they call it, disabled kids. They got some physical disability, but I used to love talking to them. And when I was working at this I told this story. And when I was working at this healthcare center, I remember this girl, she asked me, she was like, Moni, what type of school you went to? she was being sarcastic because every person that came that had a disability, I knew them from school. But that was just a testament of who I was. And the devil tried to take that away from me. He tried to steal that because he was jealous. He wanted to steal that part of me that God gave to me. That is a gift. And I understand it now. That is a gift to be able to relate to people on all levels. And I didn't know that because I didn't know who I was. And he almost robbed me of that gift. And I had to go and fight for it. But now I understand my gift is a gift. And I understand that that can't be given. I can't just freely give that away for somebody to take as their own. That's a gift God gave me. We all got gifts, but that's one of my gifts, to be able to relate to people, talk to people, unashamed, and just being myself. But people don't want you to be peaceful. Because life isn't hard, y'all. Some people are not going to agree with me, but life isn't hard. You know why life is hard? People make life hard. The people who we connect with, who we allow into our life, they make our lives hard. The people who we are connected to, they make our lives hard. Whatever demons they're dealing with, and we connect with them, they bring that energy into our lives. That's why we're so going through so much. That's why we don't have any peace. Whatever drama they got going on in their life, you connect it to them, that drama gets spilled over into your life. That's why. You have to, yes. And I hope my phone don't go out, because y'all know I'm on this cell phone, and it gets to a certain amount of minutes, it just goes out. But when you finally find peace, and you realize that most people are not doing the work on themselves, yes, you may feel lonely at times. Yes, you are. You may feel lonely. I'm not going to tell you no lie. You may feel lonely, but you're not alone. Or you alone, but you're not lonely. How the saying goes. You may feel alone, but you're not lonely. Because guess what? You're busy working on your gifts. You're busy working in your purpose. You're busy taking care of your children. You're busy teaching them. I didn't realize how much time I wasted running behind people, trying to keep relationships that God was telling me to let go of, trying to be in people's lives that didn't want me there. I didn't realize how much time I wasted. I could have been taking all that extra energy that I was trying to save everyone else. I could have been putting that on my kids. I should have been depleted because I was giving them so much, not me giving them some and everybody else some and this person that. No. Oh, but I know now. And see, we live and learn. We live and learn. I don't beat myself up about it. My purpose keeps me focused, keeps me happy. I don't want no forced relationships. Anything that I have to force, I don't want it. It takes up too much energy. I'm not going to have time to, put into my business, put into my purpose, put into the people that God put on this earth for me to pour into them. People make our lives hard. Not life. Life is not easy, but life shouldn't be difficult. Life shouldn't be difficult. It's the people. Just think about it. How your life would be. Take a few minutes right now. Take a few minutes. Think about it. Let's have a moment of silence. Think about how your life would be if you were not connected to certain people. And when I mean connected, these people are part of your everyday life. These people are not watering you. You giving. You're almost depleted. And they still have the audacity to fix their mouth to say you're not doing enough. That's why I teach my children, whatever anybody does for you, it may not be what you want. It may not be what you expected. But if anybody does anything for you, appreciate it, because you don't know what it took out of them just to think about you. So go pick that gift up. Anytime somebody think of you, that is a gift. And then too, if they come bearing a physical gift, like if they give you a pencil or a pen, I thought about you because you like pens, or I thought about you because I see you're into rabbits or turtles, or people got their little things they're into. I see you're into Marvel or whatever. And for a person to think about you enough to contribute to your little addiction, that's what I said. It'll be their little addictions and liking different things. But for them to contribute to anything that you like, with no strings attached, that is a gift. Because see, all gifts are not gifts. That's another thing we're going to talk about. All gifts are not gifts. Some gifts are just down payment of the hell some people gonna take y'all through. That's why you got to be wise too in that. I don't take gifts from everybody. Because sometimes people just putting out a down payment because they want you to owe them. They want you to owe them. So they'll give you things. They'll come out the gate. People come out the gate bearing gifts, and especially too soon. I'm always one eye up, like, that's too soon. You don't even know me enough. You will know if that's a God-sent gift. You will know if God sent somebody to give you something. I've done it. It happened to me. It happened to me. God will send people in my life and give me something. I don't know them, but it's something I prayed for. It's something I needed. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these people who coming in being too nice so soon. Too extra nice so soon. There's nothing wrong being cordial, but when they come bearing gifts, and I had to slow down with that because I'm a giver. God had to show me how not to be the way I was, and told me to ease into that. Best time to do it, holidays, birthdays, stuff like that. Or if you're led by the Spirit to do it. But I used to be a giver. Oh, I pay for this, I pay for that, I do this, I do that. I stopped all that. I stopped that foolishness. Because then he showed me part of why I was like that was because I was dealing, I still had that spirit of rejection that I hadn't dealt with. Although I'm a giver, it used to be overboard. And he had to deal with me about that. And slowed down. I slowed down. I don't do all that craziness. Don't do all that. You got to be careful. Let God lead you. Let your spirit lead you and guide you through giving and doing things. Because people take advantage of you. And not only that, when people are bearing gifts, they want you to owe them. They want you to owe them. People do anything for you. They want you to owe them. Oh, I did it for you. I can't stand people like that. I know a person used to do it to their child. Every time they did something for their child, they come back, their adult child, they do one little thing. They come back and they're requesting 5 things from the one thing they did because it was a down payment. It was a down payment. I did this for you. And I noticed that spiritually, I'm like, she's not doing that from a genuine place. She's not doing it because she want to do it. She's doing it because it's a transaction. Okay, Michelle, it's a transaction. Yes, it is. It was a transaction. I noticed that, I didn't jump to conclusion, but I noticed over time, every time the person did something, they had 3, 4, 5 requests. And the person couldn't say no because guess what? They just helped them. They just helped them financially. So now they feel obligated that they have to do it. No, that's not. You don't do it in that spirit. Her spirit was wrong. Her spirit was wrong in using that against her child. Because, we got to be honest, some of these parents know how to manipulate their children. And that's not the heart to have. If you're going to help your child, help them. Don't do it and then you want to have 3, 4, 5, 6 things for them to do. Then they don't do it. You mad. Oh, I ain't going to help you again. Don't ask me for nothing else. That's not the spirit to have. That's wicked. I'm going to tell you how it is. That's wicked. That's a wicked heart to have. Yes, it is. But that's what I wanted to come share with you all. I just wanted to come share my little 2 cents. Y'all don't forget to register for the masterclass. It's going to be fire. I'm telling you. It's a free class. I do have some paid group coaching sessions, but God already put in my spirit, I'm not going to make them to where they're not affordable because I really want to help people. I really want people to transform in 2024. I really want us to do the work. And by me doing the work with you all, it's still helping me. That's what people got to realize. People got to realize you don't have to be perfect. You just got to be obedient. When God tells you to do something, it's in your obedience where you're going to be delivered. I don't care if one person show up. I remember when he sent me out to speak, I started speaking to teens back in 2017. I used to go to different nonprofit organizations and talk to the teenagers and stuff. And I really didn't want to do that. I'm going to be honest. I didn't want to do it. But I know I had to be obedient. And when I started speaking to these different organizations, I spoke to maybe 10 or 12 throughout my time when he first started doing the work in me. And I say, Lord, okay, I say, you know what? I accept the call. I said, if one person shows up, I'm going to give my all. I'm going to give my all. I don't care if one person show up, I'm going to give my all. I'm going to give my all as if 1,000 people are still there. So if only one person show up for the free event, I'm still going to, okay, Michelle, thank you. I'm still going to give my all. I'm going to give what needs to be given. Like they say, she gave what needs to be gave. I'm going to give what I need to give. Once I get through that class, everything out of me is going to be, I'm going to be empty for that class, for the New Beginners Masterclass. Because we need to know how to start over. And it's all about mindset. Once you master, it is a mindset thing. And that you got to keep working to reprogram your mind, right? To reprogram and just make sure that you reset. Because, we all got a program. We got a program. We got a program that's in our head. And it's through that program that we see the world, that we see everybody, that we see the situations, that we see everything because of how we've been programmed. But I'm going to help you do the work on reprogramming your mind. And it's all through positive. And it's work. Now, listen, don't sign up for that class if you're not willing to do the work. Don't sign up for that class if you're not going to do the exercises, if you're not going to do the work, because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And you know what I find ironic? Even in saying affirmations, telling yourself good things, telling yourself that, I am loved, I am special, I am healed, I am wealthy, spiritually and physically. In us telling ourselves that, some people have a hard time. But yet, we'll sit and say, I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. Why did I do that? We'll say negative things about ourselves with no problem. But when we got to speak life to ourselves because of our programming, when we have to speak life, pray for ourselves, motivate ourselves, encourage ourselves, we feel so bad. We feel like we being self-righteous or something. We feel like we feel like we done committed a crime. But we'll sit there and talk to ourselves all type of negative. We'll say all kind of stuff out of this mouth about ourselves that are negative. And we'll believe anything somebody else say about us is negative. But when somebody say, oh, you look good in that shirt, or them jeans look nice on you, or girl, where you get them shoes from? That looks nice. We got to go, oh, no, they don't. I just did this. No. Accept the compliment. Accept the compliment. Accept that somebody notices something good about you, because you do have things that are good about you. We all have things that we can work on to become better, but you still have good things. I sure be telling myself, girl, Monique, you did that, girl. You did that, okay? You did. I'm so proud of you. You didn't let that get to you. I tell my stuff. I talk to myself like that. I be like, ooh, Monique, you didn't let that get to you. Ooh, you saw them trying to get underneath your skin and you just let it roll off your shoulder. You let it roll off you like water on a duck's back. Girl. You see they trying to start an argument and you just, okay, no problem. A genuine okay, no problem. Not just a little snide, sarcastic. But I tell myself, I'm so proud of you. You didn't want to do it. I'm so proud of you working out, girl, and you didn't want to work out, and you did it. I'm so proud of you. You got to start reaffirming yourself, affirming yourself, motivating yourself, encourage yourself. Because you be with you 24/7. You follow you everywhere you go. Look, you follow you everywhere you go. So you might as well be your best friend. You might as well speak good of yourself. You might as well. You might as well. Exactly. Yep, you in competition with the person you were yesterday. No one else. You just trying to do the work on you. And when you start doing the work on you, guess what? You're able to form healthy boundaries. You're able to tell people no, regardless if they get mad. Because some of you are afraid to tell people no because you're dealing with controlling manipulators. And you know if you tell them no, guess what? They're going to get mad at you. You know that. You know it. You know they're going to get mad at you. You know they're going to treat you bad. You know they're going to make you pay. But when you start setting boundaries, you have to confront that foolishness. You confront that. You let them know, you know what? Every time I tell you no, I can't do something. It's almost like you want me to pay a yes when I can't do it. I really can't do it. Or I really don't feel like doing it. You don't have to explain this to them, but you can let them know you see them. People don't like to be called out for their foolishness. But this is the time you have to let people know, I see what you're doing. And that's not right. And if you continue to do that, we're not going to be associated. Because you don't need a person trying to manipulate you into stuff. You should have a right to say no. You should have a right to say, you know what, I can't come this time. And people not taking it out on you because you can't come all the times they want you to come. If you feel, and see, that's another thing. This is when you shouldn't be around people. I'm gonna say this and then I gotta go because my phone gonna turn off. You know you shouldn't be around a person if that's the first thing come to your mind. If the first thing that comes to your mind is, I know they're gonna get mad at me if I say no, you shouldn't be around that type of person. Let's be honest now. You shouldn't be around those type of people. If you got to prep yourself because they don't train you. They have been training you for years on how they want you to be instead of just letting you be. They don't train and manipulated you. And if you got to think about what the repercussions are going to be, if you got to think about the aftermath of you telling them no, you don't want to be around that person. And I know some of y'all so used to the dysfunction, it's not even funny. Y'all so used to it, you think it's normal. You think that dysfunction is normal. And yes, when you start making setting new rules and boundaries, people are going to say you acting funny. They're going to think you're crazy. You're going to be called every name in the book. But guess what? You can be called every name, but guess what? You're gaining your peace. You're becoming more peaceful. You can sleep good at night. Your blood pressure done went down. You're losing weight. You're eating good now because you're not carrying all that stress. You're not carrying all that stress and all those unwanted emotions that people project on you. Because people could project their stuff onto you. And you carrying their stuff. You worried about carrying their stuff. You're worried about carrying the people they connected to stuff. And you can't even live a peaceful life. Because you carrying their stuff. You carrying the stuff from their family. Your family. All them unnecessary baggages and weight that has nothing to do with you. You worried about people that is not worried about you. You don't pick up everybody's burdens. You don't pick up their concerns. No, you got to let people go through their journey. You got to let people go through their stuff. Just like you go through your stuff, you be there for people, but you be there to a certain degree. You don't drop your whole life to be there for somebody. You stop doing everything you're doing unless it's a season for that. But some of y'all, yeah, especially women, we get in relationships and you forget that you got hobbies and things because you don't got to where you just don't make the man your life. You don't make them children your life. Everything is about them. You don't do nothing for yourself. You don't do nothing for you. You don't stop doing your hobbies. You don't work out. You don't cook stuff you like to eat. You don't do nothing you like to do. Everything is always about what somebody else like. Everything else is about what they like, what they want to do. And guess what? Them children gonna get grown and you gonna be mad. You gonna be big mad, what they say in the hood. I don't know if they still say that, but you gonna be big mad because them kids get grown and they want to live their life. That's your job. Your job is to raise. You got little adults in your home. You got somebody's husband in your home, somebody's wife in your home that you're raising. These little adults. And they're gonna have to walk their journey. Yes, they're gonna have to walk their journey. No, you got to raise them to stand on their own. Let them struggle. But y'all sit there, y'all throw away everything. Y'all don't have your hobbies. You don't take care of yourself. You pour everything into that husband and them children. Everything. I don't believe in that. I used to believe in that. I don't believe in that no more. See, when you get wisdom and you get knowledge, you do things different. And this is not saying you don't be a good mother. This is not saying you don't be a good wife. There's balance in everything. Because you're supposed to pour into your children to make sure they have a good footing. And even in that, you can pour what you want. You can pour till you're empty. And them kids still, some of them still grow up and go to acting the fool. Because you're not their only influence. Now they got the world. They got social media, you know. But that's another story there. I'm not going to get onto that. I'm not going to get into that. But make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're taking care of yourself so you won't be taking out on them kids when they get grown. They want to live their life and they don't want to come home. They want to spend Christmas in Dubai or Christmas in the Philippines or the Caribbean. They don't want to come home and you mad because you got a tradition. No, you got to let them kids live. Let them babies live their life. You had your life. You let them live their life. Let them live their life. Keep your hobbies. Let your husband keep his hobbies. You keep your hobbies. And and it's another thing. If you got to get into any relationship and you got to change who you are just to please that person, that's not your person. That's not your person. I'm sorry. Sorry to bust your bubble. That's not your person. You're welcome. Eyes up forever. That's not your person. If you got to change who you are, if you got to change being outgoing and loving on people and being a people's person because you got a husband that's insecure and jealous, they ain't your person. No, that's not your person. You know you got boundaries. You know you can't be hugging all up on men and stuff. But that don't mean you can't be nice and cordial. That person is insecure. They got some demons they need to deal with. You shouldn't be able to change how God made you. That's why most women and men, that's why most of them are miserable. Because for some reason they just feel like, oh, I got to come change into this person to make them love. No. That person should love you for who you are, how you are. You should be able to be you. If you're outgoing, bubbly, you should be that throughout the marriage. You shouldn't try to become a hermit or somebody you're not. That's where misery comes in at. Exactly. You should be bubbly, moving. You like to go and travel. They should know that up front. That's how you are before y'all get married. Know how you are. But that's what I want to come talk to you all about. So I hope I see you all on the 27th. And it's a Zoom call. I'm going to try to bring the same fire. But I'm going to let God lead me. And I do got a few pointers that I want to touch on. But sometimes you can have your pointers and, God says otherwise. So I always leave room open because sometimes you can have a plan and it's not the plan. It's not for the person who needs to hear it. You're welcome, Greta. It's not for the person who's there. Oh, I'll make sure I post it. I'm gonna post the information. I did put coming soon, so just save the date for the 27th. I did post it in my membership. I did post it post it to them first because I only have limited seats, but it's enough. I don't think it'll fill up for the seats that I have. But it should go out today. Today is Thursday. It should go out. It probably should be up because I scheduled for it to pop up, the Zoom link and everything. But if not, when I go in the house, I'm going to check it. Okay. So I hope you guys participate. I hope to see you in. It's a free masterclass. It's free. Right? Now the group coaching, those classes won't be free. But when I have a free class, I'll let you all know up front. It won't be nothing hidden. I'm not going to be hiding stuff and register, and you don't know if it's a free class or a paid class. But I'll be very honest and direct. You will know the paid classes from the free classes. But just because it's a free class, that doesn't mean that it's not going to have value. Sometimes people don't value things that are free. And I was kind of reluctant of like doing free classes, but I got to be obedient. I can't do stuff how I'm, wired on the business sense. I can't do things based on that. Right? So I got to be led, and if God tell me to hold this free class, that's what I got to do. But it's for a new beginning, and we all need a new beginning. We all can start over. You can have a totally different life from what you had yesterday, from what you had one marriage ago, one divorce ago. You can have a totally different life. You can be unrecognizable if you change your mindset. If you focus on what you want and not what you've lost. See, sometimes we get stuck on what we no longer have. And you can't focus on what you want. Because see, whether we believe it or not, and this is one nugget, and it's true, what you focus on, that's what you're going to give life to. That's why some people are like, oh, I'm afraid to do this or afraid to do that. You're so focused on the fear, and that's what is going to be attracted to you. You're focused on the fear of that thing, and now in your head, that thing is magnified. But if you focused on the positive side of it, that is what will be magnified. If you get me. Hope I didn't confuse.